Robe is on location in Amsterdam with lighting designer Marc Heinz. We are in the Theatre Carré, the Royal Theatre Carré in Amsterdam. And Marc, how do you know this location?
I came here, I think, when I was 12. Originally it's the circus theatre, so I went with the Christmas, it's like the Christmas circus.
We're going to take a little look back, talking about when you were 12 or maybe even younger. When did you actually first get interested in lighting? Well, obviously you've been coming to theatre and to shows for some time.
Yes, well, my father was a technical director for all the major theatre companies in the Netherlands. So for the ballet and all theatre companies, so I'm more or less born in theatre. So when I was 2 or 4, he took me every weekend to the theatres. So I joined him, and when I was a youngster, he put me in the lighting towers on the first floor. He rode me to the tower, so I couldn't fall out. So I saw the audience and the performers and backstage, and I thought it was like crazy nice. So you have like 3 worlds in one shot. And that's where it started, so I was like 5-ish.
Did you go to university?
No.
So
I stopped when I had high school. There was no education, there was no study for lighting designer. So I started out in really small theatre, and it's called like volunteer aspirant inspiciënt, which means in English the man who doesn't get paid. And it was a really small theatre with most of the stand-up comedians. So we did everything. We sold the tickets, did the lighting, sound, everything. So there it started out, and in the same building was Theatre Company Centrum, and it was a fusion then with the Publiekstheater, which is now ITA, the famous company from Ivo van Over, who has left by the way now. And they asked me, can you just join us for 1 more year? I said, okay. And I was like a lighting technician, kind of. And I stayed 6 years. Then I did an internship with René Tweebeek, which is I think the best light designer ever.
You work extensively in opera and theatre now. Did you actually have a break or a lucky opportunity?
Yes, and when I stopped, when I was finished with my internship, I had the opportunity to make 2 light designs for Toneel Amsterdam, ITA now. And one of them, they won an award for like the Perspectiefprijs. It's like for young artists or designers to give their career a boost. And suddenly there was a one-line quote in the Volkskrant, which is kind of popular newspaper, light designer Marc Heinz. And then apparently I was a light designer. And then they start calling me, which was really National Theatre. Can you do 2 productions? Of course I can. And
so
yeah, that was I mean, luck.
You also have been working with Armin van Buuren. So how did that kind of come about? How did you get from opera to EDM?
It's really funny because I was doing opera in Copenhagen, Penderecki, Devils of Moudon. And I was just in my hotel room and Josti called me, quite a famous stage director in the Netherlands. And he said, Marc, are you interested in doing the lighting design for Armin van Buuren? I said, just again, what are we going to do? He was asked by Armin, because he's a good friend with Jochem Meijer, and Josti always directed his shows, so that's how they connected. And he was asked to, because it was like a fusion between dance, rock band, all kind of aerials, so more than just one DJ, but it was like really a circus of 30 people traveling. So that's why I came in. The first meeting we had, it was 3 o'clock at night, of course. The private toy said, okay, this is different than opera.
You're on EDM time now. Yeah.
3 a.m. And then I met 250K, High Supply, and that was really a kind of click. I don't do the tours, but all the shows he did.
You basically do all the creative.
Yeah.
And you work closely with Michael Severins, don't you? Who's his long-term lighting designer, director.
Yeah.
So how do you and Michael work together?
Very intense. Most of the time I make the plot and we work with 250K and High Supply. They're doing the set design and the show direction and everything, visuals. And we sit down for about a year, it takes, a show like this. And I work very close with Michael, and for most of the time 3 weeks in the studio, and we were there for 14 hours a day. So that's where it all happens. So yeah, we're there together. We make it more or less together. And he's of course a wizard with the effects and stuff like this, and he knows the music by heart.
Yes.
So that helps a lot.
And what's the biggest challenge with designing a show for like one person on stage like Armin?
I think the most difficult thing is to keep the show interesting for 3 hours visually. And sometimes, you know, you're done with half an hour, but so that's really, it's like, it's not only light, but it's like pyros, and everything has to be like an orchestra.
3.5 hours, that's a short one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the short one.
I know, sometimes it goes a lot longer. So 6 hours of trance is quite a challenge to light. Yeah. Highlights or memorable moments from your career. Do you have maybe a funny story you could share with us?
A couple of them, but I will tell you one. I kept the boarding pass because I couldn't believe it happened. My sons are on a soccer team, and then you have to be a volunteer every 2 weeks to clean or work in the canteen or do the cleaning. Then I had to clean the dressing rooms. And I had a call from Boris. Hello Mark, this is Boris. You remember me? A producer from St Petersburg, apparently. I can't remember, but in the after party. So I said, you have to come to Vienna now. I said, but it's impossible because I'm cleaning the dressing rooms. So I can come tomorrow. Tomorrow is good. So I came home, checked my email. Was a ticket, business class. There was a taxi even ordered for me. So I went to Schiphol. Went to Vienna, got into a huge black car. They brought me to a venue, a huge ballroom, like enormous. I came in, there were like 150 people dressing up. I didn't know anybody. Came in, they put me on a chair, gave me some papers and a pen and said, are you ready for the run? I said, guess so. Got no idea. So they did a run, a flamingo show, huge show. And of course we had a production meeting, me and Boris. I said, okay Mark, I need a light bulb now. I said, but Boris, it's impossible. What is it? No, it's a tour, it's a stadium tour South America. Okay, I said, but I need some time. It's not like, you know, I need some time. So okay, let's have dinner. We went to drink, did the beer. I went to the hotel. Next day I flew back and that's it. I never ever heard anything. No Boris, no show, no tour, nothing.
It vanished without a trace.
And I don't know who Boris is. Never happened. But I got the boarding card. It happened. Are you ready for the run? Sure. Crazy.
What do you most love about your work?
I love to work with extraordinary people. Most of them very nice, interesting, talented. Every job is different. Every 2-3 weeks, new cast, new crew, traveling, being around the world, so yeah, that's what I really like to do. And I like the variety of my work, so opera, ballet, all kinds of stuff. That keeps it interesting. And I love working on crazy projects. Yeah.
Do you have a favourite theatre or opera production, and why?
It was 2014 or 15. It was my debut in the Metropolitan in New York, and we did a double bill. Yolanda and Blue Bits Castle, and I think that was visually the best production we ever made. It was with Mariusz Stoliński, which is the artistic director in Poland, in the Warsaw Opera, and Boris Kutlicka, and I worked for them now like 16 years, 17. And that was like, I don't know what happened, but it was beautiful.
It must have been awesome working somewhere like the Met. Yeah. It's such an iconic venue in the opera world, isn't it?
I'm never nervous, but on this opening I was nervous, to be honest. When the orchestra starts tuning, it was like, and the chandeliers go up, like the train is started and it will never stop. But yeah, it was a real challenge. I mean, the organization is incredible.
Netherlands.
Yes,
what's great about Netherlands?
Netherlands is over-organized and that's fantastic. Amsterdam I like a lot.
Sure.
And it's, except of the rain and the wind, it's fantastic to live here.
Excellent. Any other places that you like spending time?
New York. New York, it's my place, yeah.
And what do you love about New York so much?
Everything.
And I believe there's somewhere in Italy that's a contrast?
Yeah, Santa Barbara, Cilentano, southern part of Italy. Between 400 or 500 inhabitants and one pigeon. I see a few fantastic food, top.
It sounds...
And next year I will be there again.
Sounds amazing. Excellent, okay. And anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you, Louisa, for being in the rain.